Playing smartly can win you games in zero build, and I'll show you how in this video. This strategy is actually better than being a very aggressive W keyer because it limits your odds of getting third-partied and puts you in very favorable endgame scenarios. There are 4 key points I will reveal, and of course, make sure to use them in your next zero build top 10 endgame. The game starts with me on Loot Island with this loadout: a purple sniper, Nisha Mythic Striker AR, purple auto shotgun, 4 bunkers, and 3 big pots. The main weapon is the sniper here because you want to take as many shots as possible from a distance and not necessarily chase down everyone you see. An AR is also necessary, and just make sure you keep 2 slots for utility items. I chose bunkers here because the strategy isn't about being on the move and pushing opponents, it's more about establishing powerful positions and utilizing long-range weapons to wreak havoc. What I mean with powerful positions is to prioritize high ground to get an overall field of view of where every enemy is. The first thing I do is to stay on top of this building to have a clear view of the map. The goal is to find targets from a distance with your sniper. I see one player and try my luck. I don't get any hits, but I keep trying. Since the target is too far, it's probably not the best scenario, so let's focus on our rotation next. The second key point is to rotate early. The faster you make your rotations, the better your chances of establishing a powerful position. As you can see, I used the launchpad and identified the highest point of high ground. As always, I'm trying to stay close to the edges of the circle. Because the high ground doesn't offer too much cover, I decide to move to this building instead. I stay on the roof trying to find enemies that might still be rotating, and I don't forget to keep jumping so I'm a tough target to hit. Now, the next zone is revealed, so I mark a spot on the map which I think is the highest elevation point. Good news, I see the gunshot indicator flashing, which means people are fighting. I leave my car and settle at this perfect spot to get some snipes. My goal is not only to eliminate players, but if I see cars, I want to make their rotations miserable. I spot this dude, and after a few sniping attempts, he decides to run away from the loot and hide. Now, of course, I want to keep putting pressure on him, and I'm fairly confident he's behind this big tree. Without hesitating, I switch to my AR and spray the tree, hoping to expose him. My intuition was right, and I see him escape again. What's even better is that I'm basically forcing players to move out from where they are, and I hope it can attract other players nearby. This is exactly what happens next, so again, I'm just trying to land a few shots with the sniper and AR from a distance, without making an actual push towards them. While doing this, I still need to be fully aware of where the storm is moving. I am now somewhat close to the middle of the zone, which is not ideal. Because of this, I'm checking around to see if anyone will sneak up on me, and remember, if this is the case, I do have bunkers to protect myself. This area seems to be clear, so I'm looking for more opportunities. It seems that many players are using cars, so my plan is to either shoot their tires, which makes driving very difficult, or even better, try to make the car explode. If this is the case, you'll notice that an explosion does 50 damage to the player who was driving the vehicle. As you probably already noticed in the last minute, the third key point is to focus on long-range fights. I use my sniper and AR a lot without leaving my ideal spot. Lucky me, I'm already in the next circle, and I'm definitely the one with the best high ground spot. I do not need to leave this place, my goal is to keep it as long as possible. Keep in mind that while I don't have any mobility item, I parked my car close to me. This can be helpful in case I get ambushed and need to leave quickly. Because I realize how good my spot is, I can definitely throw one of my 4 bunkers to protect myself better. And yes, for some reason, I got stuck while doing this. But don't worry, as I found a way out. About bunkers, you need to realize it's just not for protection, it's also to intimidate your enemies. Think about this, they see a bunker on top of a hill, are they more likely to push me? Definitely not. A smart player would probably wait and try to attack me in a different way. The only potential issue I have is that behind my back, there's a small path leading up to my spot, perfect for my enemies to sneak up behind me. I'll need to be extra careful about that and watch this spot quite often. And this is what is happening. As you can see, an enemy pushes me. He doesn't have cover yet, so I need to land AR shots quickly. And because he decides to get closer, I have no choice but to defend myself with my auto shotgun. I got the kill, but I'm very low. Maybe you didn't notice, but this subtle crouching move can be the difference between getting a kill or being eliminated, as it can truly throw off your enemy's aim. For example, if the enemy is trying to aim at your head and you crouch, he'll clearly miss his shot. And that was the 4th key point: keep close range fights only when an opponent pushes you. Now, I need to heal as fast as I can and do this while being hidden. Gotta close the door, and luckily I barely miss a snipe from an enemy. Also, if someone pushes, I need to be ready with my shotgun in hand and no other weapon. Generally speaking, enemies tend to third party very aggressively to the point that it becomes a close range shotgun battle. This is why I need to reload the shotgun as fast as I can. Naturally, I have 28 HP at the moment, so my goal is to find white heals like a medkit. I know there's loot at the spot of my last kill. Sadly, I do not find any of these, but at least I can get a medallion. I could have chosen not to take it, but because there are only 3 players left, it's pretty apparent that even if I expose my location on the minimap, the other players definitely have an idea of where I am anyway. Now, my plan is simply to wait for the storm to close in and reveal the next zone. I do not feel safe at the moment, so I'm putting another bunker down. By the way, did you know you can put a second bunker like this? That double bunker strat is the best protection you can get in zero build. I'm looking around because I always like to know precisely where the others are. Also, here's another important tip. When there are 3 players left, you want to be the player third-partying the other 2 players fighting each other. So let's say you hear or see them fight, you have no choice but to push right away. That's because the odds of the remaining enemy being low on HP and shields are high. The next zone is revealed and it will be a moving circle outside of the current zone. This is the type of zone that you can't really go into first, so I'm forced to wait. But an enemy pushes towards me and I get a few shots. Because he's behind the tree, I need to take this down. But I also notice the other remaining player surprisingly. He's crouching, so he's probably expecting to sneak up inside my bunker, or he just wants to hide himself from danger. I see that he has a riot shield, and this is exactly the type of player you don't want to engage with in close range. So I'll need to get away fast. At this point, it looks like they both went down, and right now I'm the one who is the furthest from the next circle, which is not a scenario I like to be in. I still would like to get a few shots on them because they seemed exposed and without much cover. After a few shots exchanged, I have no choice but to leave right now with my car. I'm actually surprised no one took it. I see that the next zone is beginning to be revealed, so it's definitely time to go. As I get closer to this enemy, it's really tempting to leave the vehicle and fight him because I just landed a ton of shots on him. But I remember that my plan is to go to the next zone and establish a powerful position. As I'm trying to find the best spot, I see one enemy and land more shots. Luckily, I have a bunker which can negate his counterattack. Also, it gives me a power position, which is perfect. Ideally, I want the last 2 to fight each other so I can either make a final push or shoot from a distance. I notice they are fighting but can't see anything, so I shoot down the tree. One enemy is down, so here's my chance to finish the last player who might be already low. 2 snipe shots later, it's a win. GG. Here, I showed you how to play smart by establishing powerful positions, making early rotations, focusing on long-range engagements, and keeping close-range battles only when you are pushed by someone. Make sure you watch the next video because it follows a similar style of analyzing how to play in a zero build top 10. See you in the next one.